Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. This is an SEO base. You have you guys do the YouTube. You're the man.
Charles, what's your take on the game last night?
On the record, I'm in the middle of class.
There's some Russians doing this.
No, that's not Russian today. Alright, let's go back. Alright, guys, let's continue back. So we were talking about the mouth. The mouth is the mouth is the most important part of the body. It's the most important part of the whole.
Is it a
menorah.
shamash on the menorah?
Yeah.
On this menorah, it's considered shamash in the middle?
I said the middle one is the connected to the mouth. 1, 2, 3.
Is it called a shamash?
Yeah,
No.
it's not the shamash?
Shamash is separate. That's Hanukkah. It's totally separate. You know.
Okay.
Shamash is used to like otherwise we lit them all 7 candles at the same time, right?
5 and 2. Yeah, somewhat. Again, it's all off-topic things. So it's just the class is a very complex class. So it's I'm trying to get as much as I can on the topic.
Chapter 1?
Yeah. So basically, it's all about the mouth. That was last week's parasha was menorah, the mouth, and this week's parasha speaks about meraglim, the spies. They obviously spoke. We know they spoke with Shonarah. Shonarah comes from the mouth. So next week's parasha is Korach, also about the mouth. Tons of these things, are responding to the mouth. And what is it so important for the mouth? I heard this amazing thing from Rabbi Shimshon Pikus. He says like this: if you have a, you can camp. We used to go in camp. You had that water cooler. It's like that orange bucket thing with the spout, right? And it igloo one, right? And the thing is always dirty. The actual bottle is always the cooler is always dirty. The cover is grass on it and mud. The spout is always dirty. You never want to drink from the spout because it's always nishach, right? Yeah, one guy going like this from the thing, right? It's always the zip. But the water could be good water. It could be the water's pure and nice. But if the spout is dirty, what happens to the water? All the water that comes out of it gets dirty. And the other way around, if you have a dirty cooler and you have a filter on the spout, cleans up a little dirt. So that's responding to the person. If a person inside of him has tons of good Torah, good thoughts, everything is good about him, he's a tzaddik. Could be a tzaddik guy. Could be he learns really 24 hours a day. But if his spout is dirty, if his mouth is dirty, everything comes out as dirty. You hear that? The guy could be learning all day. He could become even a rabbi. He could be in classes, everything. But if his mouth is dirty, everything that comes out of it just gets dirty. But
so you're saying if you are not dirty, but you speak clean, is it clean?
Yeah, because whatever comes out gets filtered. Your mouth filters out the dirt.
Even though you have those disgusting thoughts in your head.
100%. If you don't say it out, if it doesn't come out of your mouth.
Everyone has disgusting thoughts.
Yeah.
So the way I'm looking at it is one aspect is basically what you're saying is God treats it as if it's dirty, even though your thoughts are good, versus the opposite. Another way you can look at it from a psychological non-God standpoint, obviously it's God, psychological standpoint. When you say if you say something that you don't believe enough times, you'll start to believe it.
That's psychology, yeah.
So your subconscious will believe it. So even if you have bad thoughts and you say good things, eventually you'll probably have good thoughts about it. And vice versa, if you have good thoughts about something and you say bad things about it, eventually you'll have bad thoughts about it.
Very nice. That's the psychological standpoint.
Yes.
It's nice.
So it's both. It's both, and God's treating it as good.
That's why you're not so important.
Okay, so God's treating what you say as good, even though your thoughts behind it may be bad.
Yeah.
But then not only that, your thoughts will become good if you say it.
So basically, the mouth controls
Everything.
your mind and it controls your thoughts, everything.
Yes.
The mouth.
Yes.
Your mouth can kill a person.
Mouth kill a person. That's science class.
Live extruding that book for Russo's commentary. I'd like if we could write down.
We can.
It's second source of income.
We should put it in the books. All right. So basically, that's the spout. The spout was the mouth. The Meraglim, the spies, they were very holy people, very, very holy people. And it's again, last year we gave a class that the spies didn't do anything bad really. They had a good mindset. Their intention was very good, and I gave a whole class on it last year. We're not gonna go back on the same class, but what?
Same parasha, 2 different classes because we're doing it so long.
Right, Baruch Hashem. See, you have another opportunity to do it.
Class,
Right, and change up the topic. So the spies, they had good intentions. I'm not going to get into the intention of what it was. they had great intentions. But in the end of the day, they still spoke with Shonara about Eretz Yisrael. And this is when they spoke with Shonara, Hashem punished them. Crazy punishment, that their tongue came out. The tongue came out of their mouth, it extended. It reached to their belly button. And worms came out of their mouth, and that's how they died.
Show the dirt that was coming out of their mouth.
That's how the Menaglim passed away.
You said the dirt.
Except for Yeshua and Caleb. There's a whole reason why it came out of their tongue and came to the belly button.
Wow.
It's a whole thing, because the belly button is connected to Eretz Yisrael, and their mouth is connected to Eretz Yisrael. It's a whole amazing thing, and that's how they passed away. So they died because of their mouth. Because of their mouth. And what happened? Do you know that the day that they spoke, the day they came back, and they cried, and they said, Eretz Ochel Yoshbea, and there's giants there, and the people who are dying there, and it's not a good land. That day, when they all cried, Hashem said, the Gemara says, Bachita b'chiyah shel chinam, you cried for nothing. I'm going to give you a reason to cry every single year forever. What day is that? Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av. The reason why we have Tisha B'Av is because they cry on that day. Imagine that. Imagine the temple being destroyed, both times, everything bad in history that happened to our nation, every single thing, you can go back in history, every single Tisha B'Av, something bad happens. And it all comes back to this one day when they spoke Lashon Hara from their mouth. So my class tonight is, how could it be that these people said something bad? Everyone speaks Lashon Hara sometimes in their life. But they spoke Lashon Hara, and the ramification is that bad? The punishment is that great? It goes forever and ever? Does it make sense? It doesn't make any sense. Again, it's a punishment forever. It's not like it's 1 year or 10 years. It's forever. We're still suffering the same punishment.
Charlotte, once you say something, you really can't take it back.
You can't get it back. So someone once said, if you hold a knife and you're cutting something and then the knife falls, right? It slips and it falls out of your hands and it hits your foot. You cut your foot. You didn't intend the knife to cut your foot. And it slipped, it was by accident, right? But it still cut your foot. Meaning the words that come out of your mouth, you didn't intend for it to come out, but it still cut somebody. It can still hurt somebody. Can't take it back. That's what it is. That's what a word is. That's why it says in the pasuk, "Vecherev pipiot be'adam." It's like we have swords in our hand. Vecherev pipiot, our mouths. That's why our tongue is shaped like a triangle form, like a cherev, like a sword. Your mouth is like a sword. It can kill people. Your mouth. That's why people say sticks and stones can break my bones. Not true. Sticks and stones can, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Not true. Total false. Total false.
You gotta redo the education system.
No, it's just.
That's an excuse.
It was like a bully thing back. No, it was like a thing for a teacher. A teacher told the kid that, so he shouldn't feel bad. By the way, that's totally. These days, it's total opposite. Because the whole bullying thing is about words.
Cyberbullying.
All internet. There's no hands. No one's shooting grenades. There's one guy said you're fat, and the guy kills himself. That's what it is. It's words. Words do hurt people. That's what it is. You hear what I'm saying? Words hurt people. Yeah, that time is the man. What, cyberbullying?
Yeah. We're trying to combat cyberbullying.
It's a big thing. It's a big
Even
thing.
In our schools, man.
Everyone has it.
Then they're probably doing it the wrong way.
Everyone has it. Listen, when we grew up in high school, in school, didn't have it. We had it. They never called it cyberbullying. We just called it bullying.
They have these people that follow the kids around. What they call them? Shadows. In our day, they didn't have shadows. They have shadows now.
They have all these things these days.
What, they have shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they have
follow
them.
the kid around. Just follow them all day.
Yeah, but it's more of a, it's true. It's therapeutic.
Sarah's one.
I'm on a shadow.
Tremendous juice.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It's a
I
thing.
love a
Big thing.
shadow.
PT. It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic.
Nowadays,
Yeah, we should have we should get that shadow.
I swear.
And have him over on the sell to TNT.
That's a rough night.
Reality show.
Trying hard for that.
Guys, one more. Guys,
All right.
back on track.
So Eddie, basically, the mouth is the whole class tonight. You can hurt people with the mouth. You can do good things with the mouth. Like we do B'achol, we do tefillot. Everything comes from the mouth. We can write. We can enter a class. We can drink nice whiskey.
Exactly what we just did. Exactly.
Everything is done with the mouth. But I want to show you guys another side of the mouth that we've probably never heard before. And this might be a little bit strange to hear because it's a beautiful class. I'm saying the topic is something totally different. And you probably never heard of it before. But any questions you can ask. I want to give you guys a little like a gateway before I tell you this. something called in Torah Rashi Tevot. It's called the beginning of the words. Take the first letter of each word. You can take the first letter of each word and you connect it. Again, you can connect it and make a word out of it. And why we do this? Because the rabbis told us you can do this. It's not just one guy woke up and said, okay, this word, and this word, scramble them, make a word, and that's what it is. It's not that. It's the Arizal who had, if I can give you a class just on the Arizal, we wouldn't go to sleep tonight. The Arizal he lived only 500 years ago. He used to look at you and tell you, boom, what sin you did the whole day or the whole year and what you need to do to fix it. He'll look at you and tell you who you were back in your previous reincarnation. One time he saw a guy and told you were past a dove. You were a fish one time. This is Arizal. Crazy stuff. So he says what I'm telling you tonight. They take a few words, take it together, put it piece to piece, and this is what it comes out. So
he's the one who started? No, he didn't start that.
He brought it from the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote the Zohar, which is we spoke about this like Bohm, and he wrote the crazy, the deep stuff of Torah. But it was so hard to translate it to the regular person because it's crazy things. So that Arizal came to this world, and he passed away at 39 years old. Everything we have in the world in this terms of this Torah is from him only at 39 years old. Imagine that, how much he was able to do. Anyways, we have whatever we have today from him, and he was the one who was able to filter it out in easier terms. It's still hard to understand it, but a little easier terms. Okay? So now I want to give you guys an example of what's going to go on tonight. The mouth has crazy capabilities. The Menaglim, they spoke bad, we got punished. But the tzaddikim, the rabbis, who they know how to use their mouth correctly, they're able to do amazing things. I'm going to bring 2 examples tonight, and that's all class. I want to show you how the mouth was able to do so much good. So much good, so much bad, whatever you want to call it. And to understand it, I have to go back to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu. He grows up in the palace of Paro. By the way, why they call him Paro? I don't know why they call him Paro. Peh what? Pera. Why they call him Paro. And Moshe, who was the anti... Huh? Right? That's Moshe. Yeah, I'm saying the Moshe. Yeah, that's why his name is Moshe, right? But I'm saying Moshe, he is a antidote. You know what an antidote is? There's 2 things, a negative and positive. They go against each other.
Right.
So Paro is Pera, and Moshe, if you knew, Moshe had a mumble problem. He had a stutter. Yep. So their object of life was to fix the mouth. A lot of things going on with the mouth. Peh, and I was an interpreter. A lot of mouth going on here. Mark, you lost me. You're good so far. So Paro is the guy Pera. Moshe goes up in his palace. He's in the actual palace. He becomes like his son. He goes up there until age 13. He walks out in the field. The first day he gets out in the field, he goes out in the field and he sees, the Jews working, and then he sees an interesting situation. I said this once before. I'll tell you the story again. He sees what's going on. In Mitzrayim, they had a system where the Egyptians, they knew how to break the Jewish mentality. They appointed Jewish men to go wake up the Jewish slaves.
That's from Germany.
Yeah, the Nazis use the same thing. The capos, they use a Jewish guy to do the damage. We're not gonna dirty our hands with the Jews. We want to make you guys right, because that's mentality. You break the mentality. So they had Jewish shotrim that were in charge of the Jewish slaves, and their job was every morning to go wake up the Jewish slaves, wake them up, and let them go to work, and make sure they go back home. And that was it. The Egyptian guy would go and wake up the Jewish officer and tell him, "Hey man, go wake up your slaves." That was his job. You have a boss, you have a manager, and you have an employee. Okay? So one day Moshe goes in the field and he sees a very interesting thing. The Egyptian boss comes to his manager and says, "Hey, go wake up your employees." The manager leaves. The Jewish guy leaves the house. However, the Egyptian guy does not leave. He stays there. And in the middle of the night, when everyone's out of the house, he goes into the bed with his wife.
Whose wife?
The Jewish guy's wife. The officer's name's wife. And Moshe sees all the situation. It was right before Shkiat time, like 4 o'clock in the morning, when it was still dark out. And he goes into the bed, and he actually did an act with her that day, and had a kid. The kid's going to see later on in the parashas in a few weeks. You'll see who that kid was. But they had a kid. So this Egyptian guy slept with this Jewish guy's wife. Now, after a few hours, this Jewish guy comes back to this house after waking up his slaves. Comes back to home and he sees this Egyptian guy leaving his house. And he's like, what are you guys what are you doing in my house? Why are you still here? And he realized what happened. You know, they weren't stupid. They knew exactly what happened. And when the Egyptian guy realized that this guy caught up, you know, he knows what's going on, he started to beat him. And who's watching all this? Moshe. He says, wow, what a shot. The guy slept with his wife. The guy caught him, and now he's beating him to death. What did Moshe do? It says he killed him. He killed him. And we know the famous story. He buried him in the sand, and that was it. The guy's dead.
Buried him
It's in the desert. It's in the desert. Desert. There's no. No, it's a good question. Someone saw him. It's a good question. Good question. Someone saw him. The Tan Naviram. They saw him, and they told Paro. Good question. But
Wait, wasn't the first thing Moshe saw a Jew beating a Jew?
that was the second part.
That was the second?
Right after. You didn't see it. The next day. Next day.
So he didn't run away.
No, not yet. The second day, when they told him, you're going to kill us like you killed the Mitzri,
Oh,
then he said, wow, okay, anyway. So the guy is on the floor dead now. The Egyptian guy is on the floor dead. Ready for this, Harry?
Whose wife was it?
Huh?
Whose wife? It was Zatan's wife.
Yeah, her name was Shlomit, but Dvorit. Shlomit. She spoke a lot. Said shalom to everybody. She wasn't such a good. She was a flirt. Yeah. Anyways, so the guy is dead on the floor. The Mitzri is dead on the floor. Moshe makes a little hole in the ground, buries him. That's it. I want to give you guys a secret. How did Moshe kill him? How did he kill him? There's no guns, no knives, and the Torah doesn't mention that he killed him some kind of way. He thought about it and he did?
No, he wasn't.
Cursed him dead.
He cursed him dead? What kind of curse did he use? Doesn't say he beat him.
Well, how did they see him kill? How did the Tatan and see Moshe kill him if he did it with his mouth? The guy could look like he just dropped that.
Lead pipe.
Not him, that was Rabbi Shimon Yochai. Good
Kill
question.
him. What do you
Not with force.
How did who kill him?
Pipe.
How did Moshe kill him
He
at
put
sea?
on a
Tire iron.
and got some Italian guys.
Good piece. That's Rabbi Shimon Yochai. Close. You're right, you're right. But this time he didn't kill him that way. Good thing. Very nice connecting. But what did you say though?
Harpoon.
Instead of some name.
Hashem's name? Where'd you get it from?
Shem
Beautiful.
Hashem?
Listen to this. There's a rabbi called the Chida. Anyone ever heard of him? He lived 300 years ago. His name is the Chida. You know what they call him? The Chida? Chida means riddle, mystery. They call him the mystery. That's what they call him, the mystery. His name is Rabbi Chaim Yosef Azulai.
Riddler.
He lived in Italy, Livorno. By the way, interesting thing. He has a book about him called Mystery because everything he said was just mysterious. He took Arizal's work and he put it into other words. And he gives an answer. He gives an answer how he killed the Mitzri. You're not going to hear this. You're probably not going to hear this again. So I'm going to tell you this. It's an amazing thing. How did Moshe kill the Mitzri? Hashem has.
Before you say it, how accurate is this?
It's a good question. Good question.
How do you like?
It's a great question.
Horrible question.
No, it's a good question. It's a real question.
100%. Charles is telling us.
No. He's saying how does he know this rabbi said it?
How do we know
That he wrote it.
that that's 100% true?
No, biggest question.
No, it's a good question.
There's highlights on it, man.
But wait,
Another time.
no, it is a good question.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
No. I hear you saying.
It's a very big resume. How do we know he's right on? Okay, but if he's just a guy that I never heard of and heard of him once with this item,
No.
then I'm a little.
He is known in the world. This is the Chida. Everyone knows the Chida. Whoever knows the Chida.
Whose book is
The Chida, this is him. Torah the Chida, whatever you
The whole
said.
thing is him?
The whole thing is him. Yeah, this is only on Bamidbar, on Shemot. He has 5 books of this. You know what? He gave a good question. I'm going to give you one story of who the Chida was. I have maybe 5 that I can give off to my hand. I'll give you one story to show who he was. He lives in the 1700s. Again, he is a student of the Arizal, so everything he said is coming from Arizal, who came from Rabbi Shimon Yochai, who came from Moshe Rabbeinu. This stuff is continuous. But the Chida has one story, I can say it to you, because it was documented and it was even reported. This story happened only 60 years ago. 60 years ago. And it wasn't when he was alive. It's when he already passed away. I said this once a long time ago. You probably heard the story. The Chida, he passed away in Italy, Livorno. In Italy. And no one was able to go to his grave because there was war and they destroyed the cemetery tons of times. The Chidah was a kodesh. When you hear what he says, you're going to say, wow, this guy was... That's why they call him the mystery. When he passed away, his grave was desecrated and they weren't able to fix it. And they wanted to take his bones and bury him back in Eretz Yisrael. And today, if you go to Yerushalayim, his grave is there. How did he get there? Because they had to bring him from Livorno, Italy, to Yerushalayim. Well, this is what happened. They brought the coffin. They first of all, you have to understand what they did. To go into someone's grave and take out the bones from the body, it's not an easy thing. I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Casket?
Don't you get
How long
No, there's no casket.
You also get
No casket. Huh? Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
How long did they pass away?
They passed away in the 1700s, so it's at least 300 years ago. No casket. It's, in Chutzah, they bury it with the bottom under, which you never notice. But the bottom of the casket's open, and I don't open the bottom.
Yeah.
In Israel, they bury with no coffin, just talit.
Really?
Yeah, just talit in Israel. Just talit. There's no box. But in America, there's a law. You have to have some kind of surrounding thing, so they put in a coffin. But the bottom of it is open. Why? Because the goof has to be touching the Adamah. You gotta be actually touching the Adamah. Yeah, so we should never know these things, but...
That's so we can slide and roll out like to Israel?
No, what he's saying is...
Mashiach comes, you all roll.
That's not why.
Dude, you get out of the coffin, they're gonna fix it back up.
No, they see the bodies naked to
They do, but it's not...
They roll.
The reason why I do this is for American
The
law.
US Open, Harry, don't worry.
After 120, we all know it. But, guys, anyways, that's what happened. So they had to bring his bones to Israel. They uprooted his bones. By the way, all this story is just for Russo. So I want you to hear his story. They uprooted, for everyone to hear this. They uprooted his bones, and they put him on an El Al plane. This happened 60 years ago. I'll tell you exactly who was there. The Baba Sali was there. Baba Sali.
He was moving the body?
No, he was there in the airport when he landed in Ben Gurion Airport. Okay, they landed. They brought 3 rabbis to come. It was Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, who passed away a couple of years ago. It was Baba Sali and another rabbi. I don't know his name. I don't know exactly who was there. There was 3 rabbis who were present at the time when the plane landed on their airport. What happened was the plane landed and they realized that when the plane was in motion, turbulence. Okay, and the bones and the coffin obviously got mixed up, and it wasn't just whatever happened. They had to fix up the situation, clean up the coffin, make it, because it got destroyed during the flight. And the problem is who's going to go open the coffin and fix the body, the bones, not the body, but the bones are still there. Who's going to fix his bones? No one to go and touch his bones.
This is like 200 years after he died?
This is the 1950s, 1960s. 40 or 50 years ago. There's airplanes, it's a documented story. This story was in the community magazine also. I read it a couple of years ago. I still have the story in my house if you want to see. So, they brought the plane here and the airport, and everyone's waiting to go see they're re-burying him the Chidah. And what happened is they have to go find out who's going to go and fix the bones. Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, he went there with Baba Sali, and they went together. And they didn't look, but they uncovered the box. Again, I'm going to say it to you, you probably won't believe it. It's a crazy story. I won't even believe it either. I can't believe it. But it's reported by non-religious reporters. So if they believe it, then I have to believe it. This is what happened. Baba Sali, even he says, and Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu says himself, as soon as he went to go open the coffin, they heard like a bat kol. The bat kol is like a voice. Bat kol. Immediately the Baba Sali fainted. The Baba Sali, who was all the stories that happened, people saw him, he fainted. The Mordechai Eliyahu, he said that he put his hands into the coffin. Yeah, if he said, I'm just copying what he says. Without looking, he put his hands in, and he felt the bones moving by himself. That's what he says. He felt the bones going back together by himself. I'm just telling the story of what happened. That's what it's a crazy story. I don't even believe it. But it's reported, and it was documented, and there's a video of him land the whole procession. It was like a funeral for the Chidah again. So there was reporters and there was people there. But it's not like I can make this thing up. I saw the article also. That's what it was. So if this is how he was when he was passed away, if his bones were holy, and you go to Yerushalayim, I went to his grave, it's there. It's in Harab Menachot, you can see it. So if that happened when he's passed away, you can only imagine who he was when he was alive. I have another story when he was alive, I won't tell it to you because you won't even believe it.
Tell it.
You ever hear of the sotah? You ever hear guys hearing sotah? If a woman cheated in times of the temple, if it cheated, the Kohen would go take a cup of water, take Hashem's name, erase it, put it into the cup, and the woman drinks it. If she cheated, she blows up a couple of years later, her stomach actually blows up, she dies. And if she didn't cheat, she has a kid. That's what happened during the Beit HaMikdash. Ever since Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, it never happened again. Done, finished. In times of the Chidah, someone cheated. And the husband comes to the rabbi and says, Rabbi, it's my wife's cheating. He says, how do you know she's cheating? He says, I know. He says, okay, you have to warn her one time, you have to have Edim, the whole thing. They did it again, the wife was still cheating. Still cheating. This wife wasn't, big tzaddiket.
She already swallowed the water.
No, she didn't swallow. It's the time is 1700s. This again is also documented, but I can't explain it to you. Just how it is. I'm saying it very fast because this is off topic totally. But the woman came to the rabbi, and the rabbi said, "I want you to come to me on Shabbat morning. I'm gonna read from the Sefer Torah, and I want you to be there. And if you didn't cheat, nothing to be afraid about. But if you cheated, you have a chance to retract and say you're sorry now. Do you agree?" And she still stood by her word. I didn't cheat nothing. I didn't cheat for nothing. She came back on Shabbat, and she walks in. And the whole community came to see what's going to happen with the Chidah. And he opens the Torah. And he starts reading the parasha of Sotah. Exactly the way the Kohen did it. And as he read it with the right ta'amim and the right nigun and the right kavanot, the woman started to shake and she started to get very, very afraid. And she started to walk away from the shul. She started to run away from the shul. And every step she took away from the bima, she got more sick, and as she took the last step, she passed away.
Wow.
The girl passed away on the bima. This is in front of the whole entire community of Livorno. This story also was brought in his books in the Chidah. So this is the rabbi at the time. That's why they call him the Chidah, because he was a mystery. And he says, again, at the end of the day, his question still stands. Mark, you agree to his question? I agree to his question. His question still stands. How do we know it's true? End of the day, we have to have emunah. I have to believe it, because again, it's very hard to...
I'm listening.
How do we know that the sea
I
split?
get it. He's
No,
the top guy.
No, your question still stands, because it's hard to believe it. No.
Bottom line is that you believe.
That's it.
It's highlighted, it's important. That's about
You can believe to
You gotta go? No. Sorry. No, you're good.
Now he's hired.
I agree with him. The only thing I could say is that one thing. It's very hard to lie about all that stuff. It's very hard. So I'm going to say what he says, and I highlight it.
No, it's not that hard to lie. I'm not taking away from this guy. I'm just saying it's not hard to lie. Jesus lied. He's all half the world is
It's
What do you
very-
like? Show me a book that
It's
Jesus
very
wrote.
hard to lie about.
Show me a book.
Very hard to lie.
That Jesus wrote.
I know. I was very good liar.
No, you have to lie. You have to lie makes sense.
He didn't write
They
it.
didn't write
He didn't
it.
write
From
it.
this guy, he's very annoying.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Whatever. You heard about the speech a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
He made sense.
I love it. He brought it in. He needed a fucking one.
Yeah, but again, there was no Tefillin Torah.
So don't bring the rainbow flag in here, right?
No. Go ahead. We should not bring this at all into the class. Please.
Alright, get back on topic.
All I'm saying is it's very hard to make this stuff up because if it's too hard to lie about it. You have to think.
I'm in.
Okay. So he says, how did he kill the Mitzri? He says that Hashem has 72 names. He has 72 names. We say one of them is Shalom. That's why we can't tell a non-Jew Shalom. You can't tell a non-Jew Shabbat Shalom.
Really?
You can't tell him that.
What if
Because you're telling him you can tell him Shabbos, or tell him whatever. You tell him you go whatever.
What's the reason why?
Because Shalom is Hashem's name. It's one of the 72 names.
Israel, though.
If you look on the shul, the menorah,
It's Hebrew.
there's tons of words.
Now it's just
Whatever.
So if I tell him
Whether
that
they say or
I'm
not.
right, I'm not allowed to do that.
I'm just saying.
I'm curious. I'm serious.
You can say whatever you want. I'm just telling you what they say.
Like 2 days ago.
They say you shouldn't say. They just say you shouldn't say Shabbat Shalom to a Jew, a non-Jew.
No, so let me just quote her.
No, he's fine. I love this guy. Everyone's good.
Just point at him and I'll take it.
Everyone's good. He says that there's 72 names, and there's one name that he used. Moshe Rabbeinu, he used a certain name from his mouth, and he killed the Mitzri. What name was it? It's written right here. 3 letters. Taf, Kaf, Hey. Stands for Takeh. That's why the pasuk says in the parasha, Rasha, Lama, Takeh Re'echa. Lama Takeh Re'echa. Who says that he punched? Takeh means to punch. But who says he punched him? He never punched the Mitzri. The word he used was Takeh. Taf, Kaf, Hey. That's the word. Hashem's name. Doesn't make any sense. Just that's his name. Takeh. Moshe used this word and he killed the Mitzri on the spot.
So he gets it because the pasuk says the look like it.
No, he gets it because he knows which Hashem's name were, and he says if this is Hashem's name, he goes to the pasuk and he says, "Wow, It says in the pasuk. Right.
I didn't know. He was living in Paro's palace.
Who?
I didn't know she was
Moshe
there.
Rabbeinu. Moshe was born with the Brit Milah. It's already in his body.
Fair enough.
Good question. So that's Moshe Rabbeinu. He killed him with his mouth. Great. Let's fast forward a couple thousand years later. Rabbi Akiva. A few people were born in Brit Milah. Yosef, Moshe, tons of.
See, they couldn't get the mitzvah of getting Brit Milah.
Good question, but they were kadosh. They're already complete from the already born.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they still got the
Mischut, yeah,
because they had
it already. Ready for this? Rabbi Akiva in Masechet Berachot explains how he passed away. Famous story, and I can speak with this forever. But Rabbi Akiva is in jail, and the Romans are taking his body, and they take metal combs. Again, metal combs you take a metal pin. It's very hot. Imagine a hairbrush of metal, and it's burning hot. It can brand somebody, right? They took the combs and they skinned him alive. They skinned him. That's how they're trying to kill him. They skinned him, and as they were skinning him, he was Rabbi Akiva. He was very, very,
Is it burned in the Torah, in the scroll?
No, it's one of the 10 guys. One of the Rabbi Chaim and Teradon. No problem. So he was getting skinned alive, and as he was getting skinned alive, you're good. You all right?
Yeah.
As Rabbi Akiva was getting skinned alive, he started saying Shema Yisrael. He said Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. And it says, the Gemara says, as he was saying Echad, he was marich, he was saying it very long, Echad, and that's how he passed away, with the name Echad on his mouth. But as he was saying Echad, again, it's a deep thing. I want to tell it to you very simply so you can ask questions. As he was saying the word Echad, the Gemara says his students asked him a question. They said, Rebbe, Ad Kan, which means, Rabbi, only until now? The simple meaning is only until here. Why'd you stop by Echad? Why not continue saying V'ahavta, V'hayam Shamoa, V'yomed, Tzitzit? Why do you stop by Echad? That's the question. Rebbe Ad Kan, why did you stop?
Who did it?
They asked Rabbi Akiva. The rabbi is dying on the spot, and he's saying Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad.
They asked him in heaven.
No, they asked him to the rabbi that he's still alive.
How'd they get the answer?
They didn't get the answer. The Gemara says that Rabbi Akiva was still alive and he was speaking to them. Famous story. They asked him, Rabbi, why are you stopping? And he says the whole thing. I was waiting to finally do this my whole life, whatever. But the question is, why did he stop by Echad? That's the question. And I saw an amazing answer from another rabbi named Rabbi Shimshon Me'astropoli. Also, what?
Background, please.
I can't get back on this one. This is by the way, he passed away. He got burnt alive in a shul with his whole community. They all passed away. They get burnt in a shul. Crazy stuff. But he wrote that Rabbi Akiva stopped with the word Echad. And his students said, Rabbi, continue. Just say one more pasuk. What pasuk is it? Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. Just continue. And the rabbis asked, why do we care if he continues or not? Why do I care if he continues or not? And I want you guys to read, since you're the host of the house, I want you to read, please, the words.
Not by heart.
Just say so everyone knows. Ve'ahavta. That's it. Ve'ahavta, right? Et Hashem Elokecha. Et Hashem Elokecha. 3 words. What's the last letters of each word? Of Et Hashem Elokecha.
Taf, Hey, Taf, Lamed.
No. Et Hashem Elokecha. The last letters. Taf
Hey,
and Kaf. Takeh. The rabbis told him, Rabbi Akiva, if you continue one more pasuk, you have the word Takeh. You're going to kill the Roman. You're going to kill the whole emperor. Why are you stopping?
He wanted to die.
You want to thank Hashem. They stopped him. They told him, Rabbi, just continue one more pasuk. You hear the crazy thing? This is Rabbi Shimon Poli. He says this amazing thing. All you have to do is say the word Takeh, and you're going to kill the guy in a second. Why'd you stop here? That's the power of the mouth. When they know how to use the mouth, they can kill people with their mouth. And they can do things with the mouth, crazy things. We don't have the powers, and we don't need to have the powers. We're not looking to have these powers. However, we do have one power, to do good things with the mouth. It's all about the mouth. That's it. The whole summer, it's all about the mouth. How you control yourself with the mouth. Because a guy could see a G, but he TOs her with the mouth. Right? Or you see something that you don't want to see, and it all ends up coming out with the mouth. Lashon hara, moti shem ra. Look at every problem that happens in our community or even in the world. It's all from the mouth.
Right.
It's not from the hands. No one's taking off anyone's nose. It's all from the mouth.
Back
Everything's
to
from
the
the
thing,
mouth.
the whole community got uprooted
Everything is the
because
mouth.
They heard. All they heard
From
was
the
one
mouth.
rabbi said.
It's all from the mouth.
All the million rabbis
Talking
knew.
about politics.
No, not getting about. I'm just saying everything that happens in life is from the mouth. The mouth has power to go up and down. That's it. That's all. That's the whole class. Just the mouth. No. That's it. Guys. That's it. The last thing I want to say is this: the summertime is a very opportunity to keep on learning, to keep on everything we're doing, Tehilim, everything we do from the mouth. We just learned tonight what the power of the mouth that they had was. Again, I'm not coming to teach you what to use and what not to use. We're not using any of these words. But I came to show you two things. The beauty of the Torah, how deep it is, how complex it is, how amazing and wondrous it is, and it's all true. And the second thing is that our mouth is able to take us high in the sky, it's able to take us down. Look at, for example, Korach. Korach used his mouth. And where did he end up? Down in the bottom. Korach.
What are you doing?
Korach went against Moshe, you had a whole thing.
First Moshe?
No, you had a whole machloket, the whole nation. That's
That's
next week.
The guy? I always
Korach.
get mixed up.
Korach. So Earth swallowed him up.
Right.
He went all the way to the bottom.
No guy that
That's
takes
it. But Moshe, with his good mouth, went all the way to the top. That's it. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen ve'amen. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, guys. It was tough to me. Everyone so far got it. It was
I have a question. Now
good.
we're done.
I'm sweating, man. It's really tough.
Serious question.